Hello everyone and welcome to Hans Tech Lab. Today we will work on AI series and today we will try to build a small chat model using Ollama and Spring AI. Before that, I would like to revisit the previous sessions which are kind of prerequisites to understand this session. In the previous sessions, we have learned what is AI and ML. Then we have learned the different categories and types of the AI. Then we learned a specific category, generative AI. And then we learned how we can use the ChatGPT. So as you know, ChatGPT is one of the kind of generative AI tool. So then we learned how to run a ChatGPT like model in our local machine using Ollama. As you can see here, I can use this command to run the Ollama with the Llama 3 model. Then actually first we install the Ollama using local software. Then we ran it using Docker container. Finally, we have tried to run the LLM in Ollama Docker container. And lastly, we have accessed the Ollama through Open Web UI like this. If you have not gone through these sessions, please do go through these sessions so that it can help you. Now, I will show you a workflow. ChatGPT has some UI. User will interact using that UI. It will prompt the ChatGPT servers. Then it will internally use the ChatGPT models and respond back to server. Then it will respond back to the user. Similarly, we have built with Ollama. We ask to Ollama using command prompt, and it will call the model which is local to the machine, and then it will respond back to the user. That we have done using this command prompt. Then, what if you want to build your own chatbot? So it is very simple. A few prerequisites we will consider here that you know a few basics of Java and Spring Boot. Also a few basics about AI and LLM and Ollama. For these you can refer to our previous sessions. Then coming to the framework, Spring Boot has introduced a AI framework called Spring AI. And if you just search for Spring AI, you will find the first link. Once you open it, you will find the details that Spring AI is an application framework for AI engineering. Its goal is to apply to the AI domain Spring ecosystem design principles such as portability and modularity. Those as the building blocks of an application to the AI domain. For example, here is your API, here is the application, and you have some your data and APIs that will interact with the GenAI model. They have so many features like chat, embedding, text to image, audio transcript, and text to speech moderation, etc. Also, it can train the models with the vector databases like RAG also we can perform. Then they have tool calling, function calling, etc. Also, they support so many large language models such as OpenAI and Azure and Google Gemini, etc. All details you can find in this documentation. Once you click on this Spring Initializer to start with, it will redirect us to the Spring Boot Initializer. Now, basically, two dependencies we need. One of them is Spring Boot Starter Web because we are trying to build a web application. All you have to do is just search for web. You will find the Spring Web dependency. You just have to add it. Then the second dependency we need here is as we are trying to connect with the Ollama local model. So I will just search for Ollama dependency. You can use Azure as well, Azure OpenAI, as well as Gemini. All the models, it has the dependencies. For now, I am using Ollama AI. I have added these two. Now let us see the configurations. I want to create a Maven project and the Spring Boot version is 3.5.0 and I have to give some. So let me give constactlab.ai. Then name is demo. Let us keep demo itself. Then demo for Spring AI. Now I'll keep the same package. So I want the packaging to be in jar, then the Java version to be 24. Now I will generate it. Once it is generated, you can find it in the downloads folder. As you can see here, this is the project. Now you have to just move it to some proper location. I am moving it here and unzip it. Once unzipped, you will find the Maven folder structure here. All you have to do is use IntelliJ and just open that project. Let me refresh here. Now I can find the demo project. Let me open it. So as you know, we have to first search for the dependencies. Two dependencies we need. Starter web we have and then Ollama we have. Now all we have to do is let us see if the demo application is properly built or not. Yeah, it is all set. Now the next step we need is to set the application properties. It is very simple. As you know, we have the Ollama running on localhost 114344. So I will have to configure this in the application.properties. So there are a few properties that I need. One is the model which I have to use and the location of the Ollama and then chat enabled or not to be set true. By default, it is true. Now I will copy this and add in the application.properties and save it. Now the next step is to build the REST controller. I will just create a class, call it as AI controller. I will annotate this with REST controller. Then I will create a get method, public string. I will call the method name as prompt. Then I will annotate this with @get mapping. Also, I will give the path as slash prompt. Then I will pass the parameter string message and then we will have to create. For now, I will just return null. I need one more thing which is called chat model. Let me show you. So chat model we will import and we will auto write it. So now all you have to do is create a chat model in instance and annotate it with auto wide. We are all set. Now we have to use this chat model and call this with the message. That's all we have to do now. Now the idea is to call this REST controller and this prompt message, and then it should give us the response while connecting to the GenAI using this location. Let us see by starting it. The application got started. Now let us try to call this AI controller with slash prompt. As you can see here, it is running, the Tomcat is running on 8080 port. Now let me try to access localhost colon 8080 slash prompt, and I have to give the request parameter. One thing I forgot here to give is as request parameter. Let me stop this one and add request param, and then let me start again. So it got started again, and again it is running on 8080 port. Now I will go to the browser and just call prompt, and I will have to give a message, any message we can give. For example, what is Java? Let me call it. So now it is trying to call the application with prompt as the path. As you can see now, the application has responded us back with the generative response about Java. So the flow is, once we hit this localhost 8080/prompt, it will hit the application where we have this controller, and there is a get method where we have prompt as the context, and then request parameter is message. That message we have passed. The message was what is Java, that went inside this chat model, and chat model reached it to the Ollama using these properties, and it has this URL. Here is the Ollama running, and it has the Llama 3 as the LLM running inside it. So Llama 3 gave the response to the Ollama, and Ollama gave back to the application, and application gave back to the browser. So this is the way we can build our own chat model using Spring AI and Ollama and Llama 3 LLM. So it is not necessary that we have to depend always on Ollama. If you have API, if you have accounts in the Open AI API or any other Open AI or Azure AI LLMs model, the application can directly interact with those models. We will discuss all about this in the upcoming sessions. Hope you like the video. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel and please stay tuned for the upcoming sessions. Thank you.